Hey everyone, I just realized how funny life is. So, if I use the laptop camera, I can have an awesome mic. But if I use the digital camera, the sound is not that amazing. And it's not like I do have an option for both. Well, the camera has a nice mic, but it's giving a funny noise. So I gotta sort that out. And then for the computer, I just have another issue that just doesn't let me play well with this. But it's just funny how life just throws you curveballs. I think the audio is probably more important. So I'm going with, yeah, let's have nice audio. So um decided to go with this again. Maybe next week I'll have the nice camera sorted. Hopefully. I know last week I didn't make a video, and that's because I didn't feel like there was anything. Like it's not a right of week. It was very much consistent. It was just the same stuff over and over. I didn't go through anything crazy, and life it was just good in general. This week it's been a good week. It's going fast. And I think that's my first point, that I feel like, oh, this it's nice that it's going fast, but at the end of the day, I don't like. It's interesting because usually we say, oh, that week went so fast is because we are having a great time, and time is just flying. In my case, it's like happiness that I get to the weekend. So it's very interesting how I picked that up this week, like just realizing, oh, I just want the week off. I just want work to be over. I just want to get to my free time. I just want to get to enjoy the things that I want to do. Even though I do enjoy what I do work wise, it's not like driving me anywhere. Like it doesn't feel like, oh my God, I really want to be at work. I really want to. It's work. So that's interesting. I didn't even consider sharing that, but here we are. So that's why I'm here to share all this stuff. So yeah, that's an interesting one um, in terms of how I've been going energy wise. I can say that definitely the problems that I have every week are different, and like if I don't move through them, then something's not right. Um, Consistency wise, yep, I'm still doing my half an hour every day of business, not more, not less. I think Monday, I think I did 45 minutes, but that's pretty good. I was on a roll, and I wanted to finish what I had started, so I did do that. Um, but yeah, apart from that, I'm pretty happy with the fact that I know that this way I'm not gonna feel the pressure of moving forward and all the stuff. It's just happening by itself. It's like success on purpose, like not caught up with it. Um, I think the biggest thing this week for me has been being the like watching myself, that awareness that it's always there. Well, not always there. Like it's something that has to be developed, and a lot of people talk about it. Like Gary talks about awareness, and I might have already talked about awareness before, but I was reading something this week that really, like, let's say, hit home. So I was reading how there's two types of watchers. There is the external watcher, and then there is the internal watching. And so the external is everything to do with other people watching us, and how much attention we pay to that, how much attention we even pay to our own thoughts watching us. Like it's just kind of like part of how we're brought up. And what actually is very interesting, based on what I was reading, is the difference between individuality and personality. And so when you look at the dictionary, they look at synonyms, but they're actually such different words. So personality is not your character; it's actually how people see you. So it's not real, right? Like when we talk about what's your personality, you cannot describe your own personality. Someone else has to. So your personality is never based on who you really are. It's based on how people see you. And each person will have a different perception of your personality, which is, it's just fascinating. And like I found that really, really cool to think about. And how, well, this is from Osho. So if you haven't read anything from Osho, it's quite interesting. It's quite deep. It can be quite controversial. Um, but yeah, this was interesting, because thinking about how much of an individual we are versus uh, how much do we care about personality? Like, do I really care about what people think? Like, am I this, am I that, am I blah 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 blah? And it's all external. How much we really pay attention to that. So that was a really interesting aha moment, like really understanding that there is a difference, and it is quite a big difference to think of, are you working towards your personality or are you working towards your individuality? And funny enough, I think I was watching a video about the guys from, I can't remember where, Ghana, the guys that carry the coffin and they dance, and they became a massive meme and a sensation on TikTok and all that stuff. They were interviewing him, and the guy that runs the band, and he said, well, this is really helping my personality. And I was like, oh, what does he mean about that? Like, why would that help your personality? I think that's wrong English. But when I read this, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Because yes, people, like, his personality has grown so much, but not him. He's still the same guy. He still has his individuality. So that was actually very cool, and definitely going back to being the watcher. So there is an external watcher and there's an internal watcher. That one is the hardest one to work through, and so that felt very interesting to feel like, oh right, I need to really work on that. It's not something that everyone has. Not, we all have it, we just haven't developed it. It's one of those things that you have to put time and energy into developing, time and energy into learning how that works, and so on. So that was kind of like the big spiritual lesson for the week, I will say. It's pretty cool. Last weekend we were talking as a group, a few friends. We get together and we talk about consciousness and stuff. There was just so many topics, and I love that. I love how quickly it moves. I'm actually very happy with those conversations. It's good to just chill and really try to experience the what if. We were talking about the 3 levels. Do you talk about people? Do you talk about events? Or do you talk about ideas? And really focusing on, if we become people of value, if all we do is being of service, if is being of a help to other people, if we, instead of going into relationships or conversations or interactions, instead of going into it thinking, what do I want out of these, figuring out what is it that the other person wants, and try to give them that, try to actually be of value, of so much value that they just love it. And it's very interesting because it does change everything in terms of perception. So people that you think are annoying actually start seeing as, well, how do I help that person? And they become like, your compassion just spikes, and we just see people as people. Like, we don't actually see the personality. It's very interesting. We see them as individuals, and but we don't see them as individuals. We still see their personality. We still go like, what's their personality like? But instead of seeing them as something you're describing based on your perception, you're actually trying to understand them better rather than judging them. So judgment and comparison are the killers of happiness. So it's very cool to actually be of value and put yourself in their shoes and go, what is it that they want to get out of this, and how can I help them get that? And obviously, this is not to say do dodgy stuff to help people, just so you're likable. Because being likable, being charismatic, being all that stuff, if it's part of your personality, is useless, because it's just perception. It's just what people see. So yeah, that's pretty cool, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what everyone went through this week, and see if they felt like they were of value, and so on. And then life-wise, I had an interesting, especially morning. I had a really difficult sleep. One of those that you don't know if you're asleep, if you're awake. But then I think the sleeping time was very heavy, like really heavy. Like when you eat something really heavy at night and you're just restless. That's how it felt like last night. And I woke up like not feeling that well. And then I realized, well, this is part of being human. I think it's very interesting how everyone wants to hide the stuff that doesn't feel good. Or it's just the only thing they want to share. So I think today is actually interesting because I'm not feeling my best, but I'm still my best today. Like, this is something that I talked to someone a while back and saying that it doesn't matter what day it is, you're still 100% you're still doing your best. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm just on purpose not doing my best, that's still your best for the day. And then we get so caught up in like, it has to be 10 times better today and it has to be 100 times better today. That's it. Or like, I think it's just being conscious as to how much you can do every day. So today I'm not feeling my best. So today I'm feeling a bit sick. So I know that my best is not gonna be my best. It's just gonna be my best for today, and that is good. The fact that I go, okay, well, I'm not at my best. Like, this is not my best day, but I'm still doing as much as I can. I think that's something that's helped me, because instead of letting the few things that are not working drag me down, like I could just say, I'm sick, I'm gonna stay in bed. I wake up, I do an assessment, and I go, well, is this feeling okay? Like, what's my limit? And then I know, okay, well, I just gotta take it easy. I just gotta chill. I just gotta let this go through, and then I'm just gonna focus on this. I'm gonna focus on that. It might mean that I have an early night. It might mean I'm gonna eat lighter. Whatever that is. And so I think it's important to realize that not every day is your best day, but every day is your best day if you want to take it that way. So that's another one that I just realized this morning. And I forget, like, I gotta take it easy. Well, not easy. Not see that's not the right thing to say. It's not that I'm gonna take it easy. I'm just gonna do the best I can with what I have. So if I'm not feeling that well and things are taking me twice as long, I know that's okay. I'm doing my best. I'm trying my hardest, and that's good. That's all that matters. Like, if every day I do things well and I do as much as I can, then that's good. It's a good day. What else is happening? Not much more. I think we're coming out of a lot of restrictions, so people are going out. People are feeling a little bit more back to normal. Pretty cool to be able to go out and go into a shopping center and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much my life. I'm pretty excited about projects that I'm working on. I always forget how excited I get internally when I get to do things with my hands. So a lot of you will know I love motorcycles and I have projects, and I haven't been involved with cars and engines my whole life like a lot of people have. I basically started when I was 17, and then I didn't have the money. So it was basically, I learned the basics and I understand a lot of stuff. And so now I got basically 2 projects and a half. So I have my main motorcycle that I want to paint a specific color, and that's pretty cool. I'll just do that on the weekend. Well, we'll see. We'll see how the weather looks like, because painting with bad weather is not a fun thing. And then I have 2 other motorcycles that I'm basically, in a way, restoring and also shaping to be something else. And that's quite fun to actually get little bits and pieces and like pulling the engine apart and figuring out where the new stuff is going to go. Like, I know a lot of people take that for granted, and also a lot of people have no clue how to do that. So I was talking to my partner, to Naomi, this week, saying how interesting, like how much stuff I know. You don't realize that, like, because I studied industrial design, I used to design products. That was my life. Like, I have that brain. Like, I can conceive the process from start to finish. I know what it takes to make prototypes. All that stuff. And so when I'm talking to some friends, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pull this apart. They get shocked, even though they have motorcycles and stuff. And I'm like, but well, you should know this stuff. It's like, it's very interesting how much I actually know in terms of projects and hand stuff, like hand build and all that. I'm not an expert, like, by any means. I'm far from being anyone that even would be recognized as like, oh my God, I should build. But I just enjoy the process. I just enjoy everything that's happening. So yeah, it's pretty cool to actually think about that. And funny enough too, when I think of that, it's almost like no matter how bad my day is going, no matter how sick I'm feeling, it's almost like that disappears. I just want to get back to that rather than sitting on a computer all day. And it's pretty cool how we evolve from corporate jobs and sitting in a computer all day in an office to like oh no, I just work from home and all that stuff. You still sit in that computer all day, no matter what the environment is. And so it's fascinating to be aware of this. And I'm happy that I can use some of my free time to stuff that I love. Would love to be able to do that full time, but obviously I'm not an expert, so I haven't been doing it and wouldn't actually get paid for it because I don't have the skills to be able to do that. But yeah, I'm just excited that I have stuff happening in my life that makes me very excited. And yeah, I think oh yeah, on top of all these, we've been having a lot of discussions about finances and retirement and all that. And this is something I want to leave with you guys. If you haven't been aware, I think if you're in Australia, you might have a superannuation. If you're not in Australia, I don't know what you have, some retirement fund. And something that Naomi and I talk about a lot. And this is why business to me is so important, even if it's a slow pace, as long as you're making some income additionally, like on top of your normal income, something that helps you. That's super important because I mean, I was laughing at how she's been working for a long time and she basically only has enough saved for like a year and a half worth of living, right? So it's like, well, I've been working for 20 years and I only have enough for like a year and a half. So it's very slow. So pay attention to that, because a lot of people get into this, oh, I just gotta work for my life, like I just gotta get a job and work, and then something's gonna be happening at the end of it. And then you realize, well, really, like if you save 10% of your salary every year, how many years is it gonna take you to save for the rest of your life when you retire? Pay attention to that, because you might be living beyond your means. You might be living way above what you really can. And so it's pretty cool for the two of us to really it's been a really good process of defining our finances and seeing what we can do. And we have learned that we could basically live out of one income, which is so awesome, especially because we have such a nice lifestyle. To live out of one income is really, really cool. And we're working really hard towards getting that. So yeah, that's something that happened this week, and I'm pretty happy with that. And I think that's basically that. If there's any topics that you want me to expand on, or if you have any comments or whatever, please let me know. Happy to just do one on a specific topic. But this is just more me just sharing my week, sharing what's been happening. And hopefully next week I'll have the camera and good sound. We'll see what happens with that. So I hope you all have an awesome week, and yeah, much love to all. See ya.